And we're back with some more Dark Fog Dyson Sphere. Now, there is a problem with this build. I didn't encounter it until now, but it's basically not enough shards. We're basically spending all the energy shards as soon as you're getting them, building, well, a whole bunch of random junk. But we need more energy shards. And someone left a comment that made me realize I'm thinking of this all wrong. Like, I've been trying to make massive stockpiles on these so that they never fill up and we can always keep the lines flowing. But I'm doing it wrong. What I should be doing is making sure we have dedicated lines for everything so that even if it does back up, the system will never clog. So right now, we've got, say, 3 lines here, which are dedicated, and then 3 outputs going on 1 line here. We need to make some minor changes here. Behold, stupidity at its finest. Now, taking the lessons I learned from building a giant mall, combining that with that comment, thanks again for that comment, it really just simplified things. What we had to figure out was, how can we make sure that if anything backs up in the system, it doesn't clog up the whole machine? And what we have here is this little setup here. Basically, every single item has a place and every item in its place. Yes, thank you, your timing is absolutely impeccable. But, Dark Fog Matrix. This is backed up in the system. That's not great, but you'll notice here it's got its own dedicated line. And since everything has its own dedicated line, it doesn't matter if anything backs up in the system. It doesn't affect anything else. This will still happily keep collecting all of the other items that are listed here. No problems whatsoever, and they will all go out on their own dedicated line. We even have a dedicated line for all of the... oh, what do you call this stuff? Antimatter. So all the antimatter fuel rods come down here. This thing is self-powered. So since this thing is self-powered, and we've got all of this set up... oh, and shards. Yes, the main thing we were doing this for was we wanted more shards, right? And if we check under here and go under... so yeah, the past hour is good, and find shards. Here we can see we're pulling in about 640-ish shards per minute. They haven't gone up. They've stayed exactly the same despite all of these changes. That's fine. We were kind of expecting that, to be honest. But what we have done is made ourselves a stampable system now. We can stamp this down again, and see in here? We could just allow us to collect all of these items if we wanted, but it wouldn't affect this setup whatsoever. We don't have to limit that anymore, as long as we have these guys set up correctly, because these guys will only pick up what they're supposed to. This just simplifies things massively. Now, there is another planet close by here. Where is it? Yeah, there's the farm, and right over here there is what I think is going to be the farm too. Now, if we look at this place, it's got 4 of these relay stations. That means, well, that means we could do a little bit more farming, right? I made a few modifications to the design before I decided to try deploying it to other sectors. Namely, I squished it down. I made it much smaller so it could fit in a little bit easier. We don't have to worry about crossing over, lines on the map that will mess up the blueprints. Cut down on the amount of these plasma turrets that are firing at upper air and stuff like that. Want to make sure that we're well covered, but we're not wasting too much resources. And we've got 4 artificial suns in here running on the antimatter fuel. So theoretically, we should just be able to plop these down by any nests, and they'll just farm them. In fact, actively farming these seems like the best idea because it produces so much antimatter fuel rods that it powers itself. Whereas if you put them far back and you're passively farming them, the shields would... I wonder if the shield drain would mess that up? You know what? Doesn't matter. Let's go test that out. Well, this should be an interesting attempt. We're going to line up our blueprints here. And we're going to see if we can't place this down. Defensive line. Nope. Wrong way. Nope. Wrong way. Wrong way. Nope. There we go. What the? Yeah, something like... I want to see if I can't figure out how close we need to be. So... this needs to be 71 tiles away. That's 1 tile away from a notch. So let me count this up. I'm thinking about there. We want to be 71 tiles away to be the same as the last base. We're completely parallel to it. Yes. What's going to collide with something? These guys? What are they colliding with? What's there? You know what? I don't know what's blocking them. I'll figure it out in a minute. You. Place it all down. Give me some remote demand there, please. Why was those not going down? There's plenty of space. One of those weird... you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We've got most of this finished. And you, we should probably put some power in you. before the enemies start getting a little restless. So we're going to give you guys some of the good stuff. Don't spend that all in one place. Who am I kidding? Of course you're going to spend that all in one place. Power's on. You guys, remote demand. Huh. Power sufficient. Now, did I place it one tile too far away or one tile too close? We'll find out. The signal tower should be driving them nuts. Though I suppose we might have to fire off a few shots before that kicks in. And that guy... How did you end up out of range? I messed up on that blueprint. Alright, he's sorted. Then, that leaves these guys down here. Collide with other objects? Well, this is super weird. If we stretch these out, some of them are allowed to be placed, some are not. I have no idea what's going on here. Colliding with other objects. What objects are you colliding with? Might be the... Has to be the power plants, right? Okay, if that's the case, we can move them forward a scooch. We might have to move the laser towers a bit, but that's very doable. Well, a little bit of adjustments here. We'll have to make some modifications to it, but now the real fun can begin. Alright, we definitely want to keep getting energy shards. However, we don't care about Dark Fog Energy Matrix. That is, it's only good for doing research, which we've already done, or making research labs. We've got plenty of those coming in, so we don't care. Same with these silicon-based neurons. Only good for building those research facilities. These things, the matter recombinators, they're actually useful for making some buildings we're making, but the limit on those is actually shards. So you know what? We're going to get rid of those as well. And what else we got over here? I think we got... Oh, these core elements. They're good for making these power things. I might actually keep bringing those in. And negatropy singularity things. Yeah, they're only good for making things we're already making, so no. Unipolar magnets? Always find use for those. So that means we are bringing in 3 things, I think. Yeah, we don't need these guys. 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 We do want the fuel, though. Which reminds me, how's the fuel looking? Yeah, we brought in some, so we're going to make that... Oh, and remote demand. Yeah, give me some of that. We're going to need a bunch of this to proliferate up the antimatter rods we're going to collect on site. Well, that means we need to find some new stuff to bring in. What have you got on offer? Damn it. Well, try to rejig this. I've come to a problem. I can't copy-paste all the settings from one to the other. It won't let me. I think we're too close to something. That is annoying. Oh, and we stopped researching. That is bad. We need to be researching immediately. Right, where was I? Yes, so this means I can't copy-paste the settings over and I have to manually go around and change them all. This is a little frustrating. I think the easiest way I found is just to copy with using the arrow keys. Yeah, that's probably the best way. I'll go over what we changed in a minute. After a lot of messing about, what we've got here is hydrogen, deuterium, antimatter extra on top of the shards we're collecting. Then over here we went with pink particle containers. We're running a bit short on those. We're still leaving in the unipolar magnets, the core element in the shards, of course. And right here we're going to have the... Was it the antimatter that we're harvesting off this? That's going to pass through here. It's going to get proliferated on. We have to import the proliferator, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. You can't make proliferate from, well, what they drop. They don't drop a bunch of organic stuff on. Fortunately, unfortunately, whatever way you want to look at it. But I've done a re-blueprint of it, and this should be fine. Only downside is having to manually change these. I wish... Like, did I place these too close? Or was it just the way I started when I made this blueprint that's messing these up? Because that is really frustrating. It means every time I change the blueprint, I can't just select a bunch of them. I have to manually change every inserter. Otherwise, you could just chuck down, like, find a base, chuck down one of these beside it, and start farming it. Downside is, though, they're not really great. For example, let's take carbon nanotubes. You need a bunch of these during the game, and you look out for stalagmite crystals because they're great for using this. This will get you about 30 per minute on a max level base. So 30 per minute on a max level base, which is... That's not a lot. Like, that's pathetically small. That's about one chemical plant working flat out. So farming one of these things and collecting carbon nanotubes is like having one of these bases active, or having one chemical plant active. I think the power of this is that if you left all of them active and harvested everything and sorted it and all that, it would be great, but there's just not a lot coming in from all of these. The fact that it's self-powering, though, amazing. I think that might be due to the fact, though, that we have so much research into drops. If you go in here, you can see our ore loss per mining per operation is 15.60%. We've done a lot of research in mining to make ourselves better miners, but that also increases the amount of items from debris, so we're getting 220%. That's a lot more than we should be getting, so that's probably why this is self-sustaining. Also, we are proliferating the power. But that seems to be done. I think we're golden. This is holding. They're constantly attacking. We're harvesting. What level is that base at over there? I think it's at level 17 or 18. I'm sure there'll be another one along in a minute. But I think I'll come back here and set down maybe a couple more of these bases. I have to go and take care of something. On another planet, I want to make sure something didn't land. Our cannons should have shut it down. Actually, what I want to do here is come back when the antimatter starts coming in and maybe get this place to start manufacturing bullets for us. Antimatter capsules. They're basically plasma capsules, but amped up to like a lot more damage. Like, for example, this does 420 damage, each one of these plasma capsules that are fired out of these plasma guns or out of these plasma turrets. However, if we combine them with 1 pink particle container, 10 hydrogen, and 10 antimatter, we get antimatter capsules which do 2100 damage. Yeah, it's about 5 times the damage. So with 5 times the damage, I'm thinking we could use those as a planetary protection. You put 4 cannons around the planet, we'll make sure it shoots down any, not just ships, but hives that try to land, that type of stuff. It's like using a shield, but a shield made of bullets, which I would prefer. And you don't need a lot of them. You just need to have one for every time a hive tries to land. That's very rare, so we wouldn't even need a mass production of these things. And if this thing could produce them, that would be kind of... I'd like that. It'd mean we were shooting down their dropships with ammunition crafted from the bodies of their fallen. Alright, first, I gotta figure out where is that annoying thingy. Where are you? You're a... Whatchamacallit? I gotta go kill that thing or remove it because I don't want that constantly alerting me all the time. There it is. Right, let me go get rid of that. Let's do a little test and see if this works. I think it's about there is where we want it. It's colliding with another object. How? No, I fixed all of those. I made those better. You can see all the turrets are in the red again. Why is that? Why don't the turrets and the power supply just go in nice and easy? Instead, they always mess up. Fine. I'll have to manually install the power supplies again. And though... You know what? I'm going to make sure there's a little bit more room this time. How's that? Did I make it 3 or 4? Nope, 3 power plants is fine. Well, that was actually really quick. Some of these guys are unpowered. What happened there? I presume it's something to do with the curvature of this part of the planet. That's kind of frustrating. Those guys are already firing. Yep, but frontal line's functional and plasma ammo has already arrived, so we're golden. We're not close enough, though. I think I made it too far away. I put it 71 tiles away. Damn you, Randy. This just make... Look, okay, it's fine there, but won't we put another one down? Do we have to, like, spread them out more or something? Okay, fine. So we'll spread out 3 of them there. Hopefully, that will stop the annoyance. And then we'll spread out 3 of them there. I'm probably going to have to make it 4, aren't I? You know what, I'll put in 4 just to be on the safe side. I made a minor change, stuck another power supply on the other side. I think it's just the curvature of the planet that's messing this up. I need to go up with a design that's resistant to that, though. I'm not sure it's worth it. All you really need is about 3 or 4 of these. Like, we now have tripled our shard income. Actually, let's check shards. So here we have shards for the last 10 hours, last hour, and last 10 minutes, it's up to 1,500. So yeah, we're getting in about 15 to 1,600 shards, which was sort of what we wanted to do. We basically have tripled our income of this stuff just by setting these up. As well as that, this thing's bringing in some strange matter, and we're pulling in some pink matter over there, was it? Yeah, pink particle containers. I don't think this base is high enough yet. It's only level... That one's level 20. The other one we're farming is already up to level 25. This one will catch up in no time. Until then, though, we had to bring in some antimatter. Actually, we'll make you remote supply from now on. That way it'll have more than enough antimatter to tide it over until it hits level 25, at which point it becomes self-sustained. And... done? Let's go... Actually, might as well just grab a 3rd one while we're here, though. This whole area over here is going to be a mess to work with. I wonder if we could come at that one from that side. Let's give it a go. Oh, yeah, that's wonky. You can see the way it's spreading out and going all weird as we get near the top of the map. We need to come at it from down here, but that's going to put us too close to those other bases. I suppose we could stick it... no, it's too awkward. I think I'm just going to wipe out these bases and be done with it. There's no point keeping them around if they're just going to cause problems. Actually, yeah, let's just kill them. Is that on? Kill away, boys. Have fun. Wow. They're actually pretty tough. Though our shielding is holding up perfectly. Our energy is going down, but we're still shredding. Might also be because we were right beside a second base that slowed us down, but I'm going to say we're good enough to kill most of these bases without effort, and we've kind of gone to the easy side of dealing with Dark Fog. And the remaining two are all, well, stuff we want to keep, as in the remaining two are ones we're already farming. Alright, let's seal them up and move on. The reason we went through all of that was so that we could get shards for building these things. Well, a bunch of things. Namely, this thing requires 20 shards to make each one of these. But actually, 30 shards and then 10 of those recombinators, or matter recombinators. And then if you go down to these assemblers, or the smelters, they also require 30 of those shards, and 10 of those, what is it, negatropy singularities. So basically shards were a big bottleneck, and we'd run out. But now we're running out of other things, like this one's running out of plane smelters, and the reason we're running out of plane smelters is we don't have enough frame material, which, yeah, sounds about right. And these guys are not running out of anything, though these guys are running out of strange matter. Okay, that's things we can run out of. I'm okay with that. Running out of that stuff is just grand. And these guys are out of strange matter as well. Okay, I probably should build some more strange matter, but I'm not going to. How's our research looking right now? Yeah, research has definitely dropped off a bit, probably because we're eating into a bunch of our supplies, but that's fine. The next part of the plan kicks in. We've got all of this equipment sorted. I want to let this build in the background. There's no rush on that. Well, a little bit of rush. We wanted it to start compiling. What we want to do now is head over to Big Blue. I figure we head over to this one over here. We slaughter the hive. Wow, that's a lot of ships going to it. We slaughter the hive, and then we wipe out all of the ground-based stuff. Once we've done that, we should never have to worry about it respawning. And then what we can do is start the Dyson Sphere. We're producing about 100 ships, or 100 Dyson Swarm ships, whatever. So we can start the swarm, and that'll start bringing us in power. Well, no, let me rephrase. What it's actually going to be set to bring in is photons. Lots and lots of photons. We're going to cover the entire planet, or the central planet, there in ray receivers. And each one of them will produce, I think it's like 6 or something a minute. We might do some twiddling with that, or fiddling. But anyway. Then, those things there will be combined with some other materials, namely this sort of stuff, and that stuff will churn out antimatter fuel rods. That antimatter fuel rods made from those Dyson Swarm, that Dyson Sphere, will basically start powering all the rest of our bases that we're going to make. But we're going to want an awful, awful, awful lot of power, just gargantuan amounts. That's why we're building it around the largest star we can find. At the same time, once we start building the power, we're going to start running out of proliferate. So we're going to want a planet dedicated towards just making antimatter fuel rods, then another planet dedicated probably towards just making proliferator to, well, proliferate all the stuff that goes into the antimatter fuel rods and itself, and all of the future stuff we're going to need. And did that run out? Huh. You know what? Not gonna worry about it for now. So, we want to start the Dyson Sphere, turn that into an entire planet covered in those ray receivers. Then we want to get a second planet and turn that into a place that converts all of those photons that it's bringing in and turning them into antimatter fuel cells, which will then power itself and also power the next planet we put together, which would be the one that produces all of the proliferate to all those systems. And once the two of them are up and running at a reasonable size, we can build a third planet whose only purpose will be to produce all of the necessary components to finish off the Dyson Sphere. So yeah, it's a bootstrap to bootstrap to bootstrap to bootstrap stuff, so that we can get started on where we're trying to go. Alright, let's go clear out the system. We're going to try and basically neuter this hive so that it won't come back, but it'll still be there, but it won't be able to do anything. That's the theory. So we're just going to fly right at it, kill it, and then kill all the stuff on the ground. Should be grand. Probably. Hopefully. Maybe. With all the upgrades we've gotten for our mech, we're actually pretty zippy when it comes to going through space. Like, this was a really long journey, and we're going to get there in, well, not too long at all. Also, our power is just not going down anymore. The combination of the power cells we're using and the upgrades we've got to our mech, we could effectively warp forever. All right, Big Blue. We're just going to head straight for the swarm in space. We're not even going to set up a ground base. Come. Too close!
Mineral depleted.
That's a big, big one. Okay. We should probably enable our fleet. Yep, that's better. Okay. Now, let's go pick a fight with that giant hive. Oh my god, it's huge. Alright. It's coming from the edge. Our upgrades are pretty good, but I don't think I've ever seen a hive this gargantuan before. I wonder how quickly it regenerates. Yeah, that's a pretty big... Oof, and it's replicating a seed. You know what? I hate seeds, so let's just start killing it now. Here we go. I'm pretty sure we're going to lose a bunch of ships during this. However, I think they're going to lose more. Pew pew. Oh my god, it's a huge swarm. We'll have to keep an eye on our shields just to make sure that we don't cause any... Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, our shields are taking a few hits there.
Mineral depleted.
That's ridiculous. You can just see, like, the trail of destruction. I'm pretty sure our ships are making a mess of them. Like, you can see them just sort of slowly getting chewed up. I take it we're losing ships. I'm just not exactly sure how, or how I check how many we're losing. You guys can go into the inventory there. Okay, space is looking good. We have plenty of ships. Those guys are getting annihilated. And then we can go in and take out the rest of the hive. I don't think the ships are able to regenerate as fast as we're killing everything. Dear God. Huh. Next time I should maybe turn up the difficulty if I come back to this. Alright. Let's get in here. What I want to do is try and get in slowly. Just sort of slowly chew it away. Like, we've killed most of the ships that are on the outside edge. There's a few left, but I just don't want to get in range of the laser turrets of that unless I absolutely positively have to. Kill them all. Go to work. I want you to nibble them to death until there's nothing left but scrap. And you can actually see occasionally that they're taking chunks out of the ship as well, or the hive itself. It is a pretty light show. That sound is the cannon on our ship firing. Oh, wow. We're taking the odd hit, but the shields are holding. I think we're good. I can't tell. Oh, I can see some of our ships occasionally dying, but by and large, it's mostly theirs. Is that it? Yep. Okay, need to speed back up again. We might need to actually cut them off so that they can't get more supplies from the ground. We might not be able to kill them fast enough, but I think one or two more passes and that's it. They're dead. Yeah, we're already chewing into their space station. Yeah. Yum, 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 yum. You can just see this spray of debris going into space from all of the chunks that are dying. We're just going to head right for the core. At a leisurely pace. They can see their doom coming. Yeah, once we wipe this out, I'm pretty sure the hive is going to instantly respawn, namely because there's loads of ships around here. It seems that if a ship is headed towards a hive and the hive gets destroyed, the ship automatically spawns a hive. I don't know if it's a bug or not, but that hive is non-functional effectively unless you allow it to rebuild. So long as we kill this hive, let it respawn, then kill all the ground stations, we should never have to worry about this again.
Dark fog hive core destroyed.
Yeah, I think we're going to hear that again in a minute. Oh, yeah, look, there's another dark fog hive core.
Dark fog hive core destroyed.
Oops. 2 for 1. Guys, are you still killing stuff? I can't tell anymore.
Dark fog hive core destroyed.
And I think that's the last of it.
Dark fog hive core destroyed.
Right. Well then, in that case,
Dark fog hive core destroyed.
where's the nearest planet? They're over there, so you know what? We'll grab this one here. Big Blue 2. We are going to warp over there immediately.
Warp engine activated. Warp engine deactivated.
Then what we're going to do is, yeah, attack relay stations is on. We're not landing. I think our ships have to catch up, but this might take a second. Where is our space-based ships? Guys? There we go. Okay, they can kill all the bases in space. I don't care about the ground platforms for now. Thing is, as long as the space-based ones are dead, they're the things that allow the ships to go out and provide resources. So long as those are dead, they can't rebuild the, whatchamacallit. They can't rebuild the hive core. So then, yeah, you can see all those ships going to try and rebuild the hive. So we'll have a quick stop over at the hive one more time. We'll kill the hive again. We'll kill the hive again, and then we'll pop over and kill the other 2 planets. Okay, kill all the bases. We don't even have to get that close. That it? Perfect. Everyone back on board. We're going to the next planet.
Warp engine deactivated.
Hello. Goodbye. And then everything in space dies instantly. Okay, so that means we've secured the system. And since this is the furthest out planet, it's probably the one we're going to settle on anyway.
Cruise ended.
We just got to take care of these ground bases. Kill them all. System secured. This hive over here is now, well, hopefully neutered and inert. So long as it gets no more supplies, and on this difficulty level, I believe there's only 1 hive per system, so no more hives can show up. It'll just sit there and do nothing. In that case, what we're going to do is we're going to start launching the necessary components to put a Dyson Sphere together around here. Let me find the equator real quick. Oh, and looking at our supplies, we definitely lost some ships. We should be able to tell from in here, should we? Here we go. Kill Central Core, Eclipse Fortress, Humpback Port, Lancer Port, Plasma Generation Tower. Okay, relay stations.
Extraterrestrial dark fog is assaulting.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's going to end up dead. Alright, casualties. 1.6 a minute over the last 10 minutes, so... not that bad, actually. Lots of corvettes, though. We lost a fair chunk of corvettes during that initial engagement. But hey, in the space of 10 minutes, we claimed the entire system, so I'm going to call that a win. We have set up a little bit of a launch thingy here, but it's kind of dark at the moment. So let's start on our new Dyson shell. We're going to make it, maximum radius. It's just going to be as big as we can possibly make it. In fact, let's check here. Oh no. I don't think the planet is inside its radius, or any of our planets are inside the radius of this thing. Otherwise, it would give us an error going, nope, you can't put it there because there's a planet in the way. Right then, let's start building this. Now, this may feel like the normal one, but it's not. When you try and, click on something, it's huge. Like, these things are just, it's so far away that you're like, how? How is that possible? That's okay. We're just going to do the same thing we did before. Yeah. Hexagons are the bestagons. I think I'm doing this wrong. I might need to do it up to here. Like, here's the two options we have. And I think I'm going to go with the one on the left. This one on the right just doesn't look right. It might seem more right, but nah, I prefer the left design. So this is what we're going to build. This might take me a while. I got to go around the whole outside and start putting this in all the way around. The worst bit would be if these two didn't meet up perfectly. And done. Right. How much is that going to actually take? Select all. That's 195,000 rockets. Might take a minute. Alright, you full? Yes, you are. In that case, I would like you to output power right there. And then what we'll do is we'll just stick one in this. You, give me... Perfect. Power provided. Sufficiency, perfection. Now, what's happening here is it comes down to this point and then it just gets picked up and daisy chained along all the way to the end. Now these guys, these guys are going to need some rockets, or was it carrier rockets? Now they also have the same thing. They pick it up here with a stack inserter, which is doesn't have power. 1 second, put that guy right there. But I think everything else along the way is done. You should start charging the tower. Yeah, grand, it'll be fine. We also have lots of space warpers, such like, and we have a full stack of small carrier rockets. Let's go. And will they make it all the way to the end is the question. Wait, it's only doing 3? Oh, there's a break. How?
Mineral depleted.
Wanted. I messed something up somewhere along the way, probably. No? No, I think it's good. Whoa, that is... Yeah, that's sort of what we wanted. Perfect! That might increase... Give me one more look at that. You really do begin to feel like we're a proper spacefaring civilization at this point. Right. How is the power supply holding up? Power supply is 57% sufficiency. Right. So this thing's a little bit of a power hog, but that's okay. Oh, wow. I didn't realize how long this was. You know what? We can chuck on a few more power generators here near the end. And now we're up to 92% sufficiency. Cool. Right, perfect. Covered. Now, this is going to eat into our power supplies back home, so... Yeah, we might want to actually start putting down some solar collectors here just to help out. Ooh, and you can see where our planet's shooting them from. Problem we faced, though, is I was really hoping that the inner planet, this one here, would be inside this... Dyson Sphere. That's a problem. That's okay. We'll just have to use, lenses or whatever to double the production and make sure that they have 100% uptime on the solar collectors. Right, but that at least starts this. This really is pretty to look at. We've just got a fresh batch of small carrier rockets. They've arrived, another 2,000. This thing can't really... we don't have enough rockets being produced to keep this going. However, we're up to 7.22 gigawatts. Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, and we've also started firing solar sails. The solar sails are not quite as consistent. Problem is you have to aim for orbital inclinations and all sorts of things, and I just point them all at the same thing, put them the whole way around the planet. Some of them will always be firing, is the theory. Problem is, they don't really show up in here. You can't see them because they're too small. It's just really hard to get the... Oh, there they are. Wait. It's just this Dyson Sphere is so ridiculously oversized. The smaller dots don't show up anymore. It's just too... Whoop. You're trying to move things gently, but it's just the slightest twitch and everything moves around. So you can see the solar sails going in. It's just the moment you zoom out at all, they kind of vanish. Actually, no, that one's pretty good. So, the plan. Next episode, what we're going to do is I'm going to run this forward a bit, get a few extra gigawatts of power, start harvesting that for photons, turn those photons into more power, and then use that power to make more rockets. So we can build a bigger Dyson Sphere to generate more power, so that we can make more rockets to finish the Dyson Sphere to make more power. As for solar sails, we're probably going to have to make a few extra of those, but I think we've got enough solar sails for now. Might want to put in a second ring of rail ejectors. You know what? We'll worry about that in the next episode. For now, I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck.